Hey, looking to cook one of them tomahawk steaks. I mean one of them big old bone-in 3-pound ribeyes. I got the tips, the tricks, and the technique to make it happen with some smoky goodness. Come on, I got the grill hot. Hey, thank y'all for stopping by the backyard. And what are we talking about? Reverse seared ribeye. Let me back up. That's reverse because, folks, I'm talking about you're going to want to back up and do this one because it is good. And looky down here, some big old honking piece of beef. I'm talking about nearly 3 pounds each steak. Me and the Big and Duke, we can make a hand on that. And why are we talking about reverse seared? Now, a big piece of meat like this, and y'all seen me cook these tomahawk steaks before, to where we'd wrap them in some foil and let them steam a while. But we're going to do this one reverse sear method to where we're going to start on indirect heat. Now why is that? That's away from the coals. We're going to give it a smoke bath. Just let it get in there and get to warming up. And we're going to let it try to get to about 115 long in there. And then we're going to pull it back over there and we're going to sear it over some hot fire. Now, if you got a cast iron skillet that's big enough for them to fit in, you can do it in one of them. But I love to do it on the grill, and then we're going to top it off with a little herbed butter and everything else. Well, I got me some good fogo in there, which is really good and hot, and I put me a little mesquite in there. But I'm
fogo.
Fogo? It is F-O-G-O, fogo. We're going to fogo and put some charcoal in there. That's what we're talking about. Fogo hardwood lump. This stuff is good. I ain't getting no crumbs out of it. I'm getting big old hearty pieces of coal. That's what I'm after. But I got a little apple wood and a little alder, and I'm going to put it in here so we can get the smoke bath to happening. Got the old hasty bake fired up, we do. And you need to let these big old pieces of steak come to room temperature. Now I'm talking about an hour and 15 or 20 minutes. Set them in there in the counter away from the Beagle and out of Duke range, or you won't have none left when you come back. And as you've seen me, I done went in there and got me a little bit of lime juice, rubbed all over both sides, and then original seasoning, really heavy. Because y'all have heard me say it. It's the worst mistake you can make, especially on any big piece of steak or any steak whatsoever. That is under seasoned, overcook. Original, heavy on both sides, and then on the outside edge of these tomahawks, I put me a good layer of that mesquite seasoning. We have got some smoke a-rolling, as you can see. All the coals is on this end down here. We'll just arrange them to where they're sort of laying in there so nice and pretty. Shut that lid on them, folks. And a big piece of steak like this, if you've let it come to room temperature, you're going to be pretty close to about maybe 20 minutes to let that temperature come up to about 115. And then the magic is going to happen. We're going to throw some heat on there, and whoo, it is going to be good. Hey folks, y'all joined us, and guess what? The daylight savings time done kicked in, it did, and whoo, did it get near dark. So we are making history tonight with y'all. We are cooking in the dark. Is this prime time, Shan? We let these warm up till they got to about 115. Now we're gonna put them over some heat because we're gonna give them some color right now. Now I have got a little flame in there we'll have to keep an eye on, and you don't have to shut the lid at this time, you don't. But guess what we got here? Remember I was telling you about some butter? All it is some of that good Kerrygold butter, and some garlic and some horseradish mixed in. So we're just gonna let that set. Uh-oh, that done jumped off. He didn't make the trip. We're just gonna let that set right on there. And folks, if we was to thinking how much time was this gonna take, with the fire about that far from it, I'd say about 2 minutes. We're gonna flip it over and get some color on the other side for about 1.5 minutes. Then we're gonna pull them over here, let them rest for about 5, and then we're gonna eat them. Well, time is there. It is time to flip, it is. There we go, and look there, it's what you call flame kissed, it is. But we are getting us some of that good color on there, and that's what I'm after. Now, if you have to, and you think, well, I want these to be like 125 to 130, hey, you probe them. And folks, if it's flaming, it might be too hot. Let's move over here just a minute. About 2 minutes on that side, and we're gonna call it a done deal. Well, folks, We've been about 3 total after we put them back on the fire. Look at that there. I wanted that good crust that we got on there, and that's what we're after. It's what you call cooking in the dark, and don't it smell good. We have let them rest maybe about 8 minutes, folks, and I don't want to tin them. I just want to let them rest right there, and because when you let a big old steak rest like that and you cut him, that flavor has all just sort of sealed up in there and ready to go. But if you cut a steak too soon, guess what? You done let some of it out. We done pinned him up once, so let's go ahead and see what's happening. And we just gonna cut right across here. Slices like butter, it does. Now Shan and the Beagle and all inquiring minds want to know, but I'm wanting some rare to medium rare. And looky there, folks, that is what we got from one side to the other. Now, my taste testers, folks, I'm just telling you, out here in these brave conditions in the dark, they have kept the bears off me and Shan. So here you go, Duker. I want to thank you. Big, I want to thank you so much for always being here, brother. Always helping us out. I know you're a star on YouTube, and thank you. So, folks, you can see that right there. I'm just going to go ahead and have this little bite right here. But you can see we didn't have a flood of juices go running out of there. All that flavor stayed right there in it. It did. I don't know if y'all have ever heard me say that, but that's divine dining. It is. Oh. I think it would call for one more little bite and the ribeye roll. You gotta roll with your ribeye. Roll it on around like the hula hoop, and then you break down and get some smoke and some fire, and you do the roll one more time. It is so good. I'm just telling you, folks, that certified Angus beef with that good original seasoning and mesquite around the edge, letting that alder wood and that apple get in there and just love all over it and come around.
You cook pretty good in the dark.
I mean, things is just good, I'm telling you. And that is what I'd call about the perfect cook to me. I'm liking it a whole lot, I am. Just remembering all this, let it come to room temperature. And if you need to probe it, put that thing in there. You want to get to about 118, 120 along in there. I like to go mine 115, then put them over on that hot fire, put some of that slab of butter on them, about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes aside. Praise the Lord, pass the biscuits and let's eat beef because it is a good day, it is. And as always, I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans, first responders, and everybody that's keeping us safe. Hey, you can all come to this channel. You're all loved, and we're glad to have you. We are, and we thank you so much. And guess what? I'm going to take you down the reversed seared ribeye trail.
Duke, you want a bite?
Are you smiling for some beef, Zoe? Buster, yes, we're going to do it.
Hey, oh, no. That was close.